guys, and welcome to a new episode. So today we're doing something a little bit different. We're going to go over a specific technique. In this case, as you've probably seen from the title, loaded brush. It's a technique popularised by Ben Comets, who is a fantastic painter. Go look him up. The work he does is just phenomenal, multi-award winning and all that jazz. But the principle behind it is you actually have two different colours on your brush. Which obviously I'll show as we go through. So we're working on a Stormcast, so you can see I've already done one leg. So I'm kind of doing like a browny, coppery, non-metallic effect. And I've kind of started to prep the leg over here. So it's actually based it in acrylic brown first, because I was playing around with doing the same technique with acrylics as well. Then I thought, why not just do it with oils? It made it so much easier, because none of that drying paint on the brush nonsense. So okay, we've got our usual setup. So we've got our cardboard with parchment paper glued onto it, tissue, white spirit. The colours are light rust, snow white, and black by Abtielung. And here we go. So what we're going to do is basically, with the non-metallic effect, you kind of want to think of where the light would hit. So in this case, we'd have kind of like a main highlight line along this area, going down the leg, follow that line up and across and in. So you aim for that area. So here we go. Let's start doing the technique on the foot. So I've already pre-thinned these a bit. It works better with thinner. If you use it straight out the pot, it doesn't work so well. So thin it, it's about 50-50. And remember as well with oils, the thinner it is, the faster it will dry. So these will dry a lot quicker than if you used it straight out of the tube. So we get a decent amount on the brush, wipe just a little bit off, and then get the tip. We can wipe a little bit. Takes a bit of practice to get the right amount. So there we go. You kind of see the white tip going into the brown. And what we do is you kind of drag the line down that you want, and then just move the line next to it, and it'll start blending on the brush itself. So we're aiming to go out. You can use both sides of the brush. And you can just keep moving it backwards and forwards. So it's using that magical blending that we have from oils, mixing it with this brilliant technique from acrylics. We can get our blend going. You can see already that's still quite light. We'll do that again. We'll get some of the brown, dab of white. We got even less this time. It's really hard to see. Never mind. But yeah, it's like barely any. So you can see there's a tiny little bit. We get just a dab more. There we go. That's more obvious. There we go. So that's the kind of amount. Then I'll gently wipe that even. Go again. Down our highlight line. So that time I got a little bit too little, but I can actually use this to go back in. And because we're working thinner, it's actually, we can blend without needing a second brush. Just help define our areas. What we'll do, we'll go again, and wipe a little bit off, get a little bit of the white, then a little bit more, just go back in. because we can keep so much on the brush with the oils. We just keep getting our dab of white back as we need. Keep doing that because we'll keep the brown on the brush until we get to the level we want. Just a bit more. There we go. I like it across there. Blend it. And I can just dab off the brush. Get a bit of that brown back in. Blend it where we don't want it. This takes a bit of practice to get the amount of brush, the amount of paint you want on the brush right. As you can see, that's really quick to get our highlights. What I can keep doing is, because it's oils, I feel like it's too far, and then just go back in with another colour, just blend it to the areas I want. Let's do this again, let's get a bit more white, finish off the light here, a bit more. Want it. I mostly still have the brown on the brush anyway. I can just keep blending it out until I get to what I want. And then you can also do similar. So I've still got brown on the brush and just dab it in the black. Also I want more of a shadow going in these areas. Get a bit more black there. Line and bring it down to the sides where we get this, where it would be darker. Go back in, do that again. And there you go. We've started to build that NMM effect. It's just a matter of then, so if we aim for the top of the leg, so I get my brown back on, kind of decent amount, get some white, thin line. I could probably use a bit more this time because it's a bigger area. Start blending it out. Make sure I've got some brown, a bit more white. Come the other way. And then blend it out. So that's the start of the working on the leg. So eventually that will go to more like this side. So to do that, probably get more of the brown. Might even do a mid mix like that. Just start blending that in. So because it's a cylinder, because of the angle as well, you kind of normally a cylinder would give a line. Just the weird angle, you kind of got a bit of a triangle going on where your main highlight is, into a slightly triangular effect. A bit darker, and start bringing it, shadows in, and get the actual just straight up black into the deepest areas. Then, just as like an example, because we've got our harsh line there, what I do is I get a very dark brown, put it as a contrast on the opposite side of our highlight line. Drag that all the way down so it's quite all dark that side. Pure black again to line it out, separate those components. There you go, it's starting to come together. We grab some of my brown. Put that back into the middle. So yeah, you can start to see the effect coming into play there. Obviously, to match it to that side, it requires a little bit more backwards and forwards. That's the beauty of the oils, is we can keep doing that. We can just keep moving our highlights around. So, like here, obviously we want that shadowed on that side, the contrast, because it's away from the light. With our actual deep black lining. Because it's oils, I can blend that a bit. There we are. And we just continue working like this. And if you look on here, I've kind of got dings and scratches and some mid highlights there, darker bit there. So the scratches are really simple because we've got it quite thin. All I need to do is align we can see that properly. See the line here, and then grab a bit of white. Just underline it. If you feel that's a bit too heavy, you can get your black back in and refine it. There we are. Nice ding. You can even get a bit more brown. Make quite a bit less. There we are. One of our dings and scratches going there. At the start of our shadowed area. Obviously I've blended some different levels to that. Same down here. Now it's just, as I said, it's just a matter of refining how you want the shadows to look, how you want your highlight placement, thinking about your lights. And that's it. So you saw, loaded brush is simple. Get your mid colour, put it on the brush, and a dot of your highlight or even your shadow colour, and then it's just a motion of I'll do that again. So I'll get a big amount. Big bit of white. I'll actually do it on here. There you go. You can see the white line fading out into the brown. Same there, white dot fading out, and that's it. Obviously, it's just a different technique. We also got to see some brown NMM going on, and this was all done with that technique, and then just refining. And as you can see, this is all already touch dry because I used more thinned. It dried, I don't know, a few hours ago. I finished off some of the lines, so that's dried pretty quick. It's also quite warm in here today, but yeah. Well, that's a new technique. You got to see a bit of NMM and the loaded brush technique. Hope you find some use for it, and if you enjoyed, don't forget to hit the like and subscribe, and yeah, we'll see you again soon.